If you feel like you've been doing everything that you can to tackle marketing and it's still not breaking through, you might have a strategy issue, and that's where the holistic marketing pipeline comes into play. A lot of people will say, well, I'm posting, I'm doing SEO, I'm running ads, I'm doing physical marketing, I'm running events and webinars and all this stuff, and I still don't feel like I'm breaking through. Now, the problem might be a lack of clear strategy at the end of the day, and the holistic marketing pipeline aims to connect all the dots together into one effort, one strategy, one mission for your service or your product to reach the world. Without going through this process, we can often just try tactics without that strategy, and we end up losing in the end. I totally get it. You built your business one step at a time, and you're just figuring out, how do I get to the next level? And maybe you didn't take the time to kind of back things up and figure all this stuff out. And you've probably done really well for yourself up to this point, but maybe you're starting to hit a roadblock, or the gears are starting to slow down, and you're starting to find, like, well, what is causing this? Why are we slowing down? Why can't we break through? That's what the holistic marketing pipeline helps you figure out. So let's dig into it, and I'm going to share exactly how this works and how you can apply this to your context right away. Many times when we're creating a business and we're creating a marketing plan, we're creating a pipeline, right? There's a whole bunch of different steps that we want our customers to go through in order to eventually buy our products or buy our services. But often a business's pipeline can look like this, where maybe we are executing okay, we don't have a really clear strategy on digital marketing. Maybe we're posting, we're doing things, but we're not exactly sure if what we're doing is the right thing. And we're not even sure what our messaging should be online or what our style should be. So maybe we just chase trends. We try to add music to our Instagram posts. We try to just do random things and see if that catches on. And you might grow in your follower count, but you don't grow in conversions. And you're like, what the crap? I don't understand how to do digital marketing. It might feel that way for you. Or maybe you don't have really clear sales scripts. It's something that you never thought about doing. You think I'm not really want to be like that sleazy sales guy, but truly the way that we do sales scripts is we're sharing with someone how we can serve them. And if that happens to meet their needs, then perfect. We're not selling anything. It's just a match made in heaven. But maybe we had a negative connotation with sales scripts, so we don't consistently talk about our business, and the other people who work for our business don't consistently talk about it either. And so things end up just kind of being scattered and fragmented. Or maybe we don't really have a lock on our internal processes. Maybe we're just not fulfilling very well. Maybe there's just things about our internal project management system or the way that we're organized that's just not very organized, and we're struggling, so it's really hard to keep up with demand if it's even happening. Or finally, maybe our branding. We developed it in Canva 5 years ago when we started the business, and it seemed to fit the bill, but we've tried to use ChatGPT and different things to kind of update the brand, but it's just not hitting. But we're still using it, but we just don't feel competitive, and we don't know how to make it any better, so that piece of it is missing too. So we end up with a pipeline kind of look like this. And each one of these spots where we don't have a clear strategy and we don't know what we're doing, money is just leaking out of each one of these pipes. Opportunities are just leaking out. And you know what creeps in is corrosion and frustration and just confusion and exhaustion. And so what we aim to do is fasten up each one of these pieces of the pipe nice and tight by starting at the very beginning, right here with the business plan. We review the business plan. Okay, do we have a business plan, first of all? And most businesses do. When was the last time that it was updated? Many times we're searching through the cobwebs and the archive of documents that we've had and oh yeah, we did have a business plan. Oh yeah, we did have a mission statement or a vision statement, but we haven't updated in 10 years. We haven't even looked at it. Maybe the very first few people who started the business were really clear on what that mission and vision statement is, but each generation of staff that come after that, you can think of them kind of as truly generations, grandkids and their great grandkids, and they just don't know the heart and soul and the stories of the generation that launched the business. And so it just gets diluted over time to the point to where if you really took a good look at what you're doing and how you're doing it, you would think man, have we been intentional? We're just not feeling like we're intentional as we were in the beginning or as they were in the beginning. So we go back to the business plan, make sure that we're clear on goals, mission, vision. What is it that we're setting out to do? And then we align that with our marketing plan. And we do that through each one of these steps. So let me talk about branding. Does the branding accurately represent the story, the look, and the feel that we're trying to portray with our business? That means logo, typeface, colors, but it also means the overall story, the voice that we use, the words that we use regularly, the way that we talk about our business, and the overall experience that our customers have with our brand. Does that match our goals? Does it match our vision and our mission with this business? And if it doesn't, then we might need to do a branding update. Secondly, offers. Now, a lot of people hear offers and they think 25% off or 50% off. But the problem with just discounting things in order to be competitive is doing that as a race to the bottom. And one of my favorite quotes is, the problem with that kind of a race is that you might actually win it. And that means you might actually make the least amount of money out of everybody and go broke. So that's not the kind of offers that we're talking about. We're talking about what makes you unique? What is the unique thing that you offer to the world that nobody else offers? Only you offer this. What does that look like? We figure that out, headlines, verbiage. How do we talk about this goal, this mission statement, this vision statement to the world? How do we have an external message that's attractive, that's compelling, that might meet the needs of somebody who has them? Then we talk about our conversion-driven website. Now, the website is not just a brochure. It's not just a flyer. It's not just something that we post up there just to let people know how great our brand is and how great our products are. And we don't just put an e-commerce site up there and just think that somehow people are going to find us and just start buying. We have to actually create a sales funnel with a conversional path for people to take through our website to actually buy the products or buy the services or book the appointment, whatever the case may be. That includes a few things that we're going to get into in a second here, but it's a conversion-driven website, not just a beautiful-looking website. It is both. It should be beautiful as well, but conversion-driven primarily. Next, we're going to talk about internal processes. So then we kind of dig into fulfillment. Are we making sure that we're ready for market growth? If we see our market share increase and we see our business grow, then are we able to fulfill those things? Do we have good processes internally, as well as our own marketing automation processes? We're going to talk about that too. Are those things all tied up together and we're clear on how we actually fulfill the services or the products that we're trying to sell? So sometimes that means we need to research like project management systems that are custom to our industry. And there are all kinds of them today. Like there used to be like maybe 1 or 2 project management systems and you have to just figure out how to apply them to your industry. But now there are so many custom solutions for industries that oftentimes we find something that fits your industry just like a glove. And that's how we do that. And the last piece I'll say on that is we don't just find it and give it to you, but we find it, help you set it up, train you on it, and give you a battery of videos on like how to use it. So this is really kind of what sets us apart. One of the things that sets us apart as a marketing agency is we're not just focused on making sure that your SEO is working. Although we do focus on that, that's just one piece of the puzzle. It's one little piece of the strategy, but it's actually not the core effort of the business, making sure that we're moving forward in unison before we get to that marketing part. So next is the lead magnet and the sales funnel. Like how are we directing traffic? How are we driving traffic? And why are we doing it the way that we're doing? Like a lot of times we try to figure out in your industry, what is something that is valuable to a customer that you would be willing to give away for free? And can you give that thing away and build some value, build some trust? Do we do that on your website? Do we do that on your social media? Probably both, but how are we driving traffic and giving away these things and building value? So the lead magnet really coincides with the email drip campaigns. And many times what we do is we'll pair those things together and we'll do maybe a 2 or 3 email drip campaign. Now, a big thing for us is maintaining trust with our customers, not just spamming them as soon as they give us their email address. We also don't share their contact information with anybody, but we do want to engage those who are engaging with us. So we just want to stay top of mind with a couple of emails if they download a lead magnet. But after that, if they're not engaging with us anymore, then we're going to let them breathe a little bit and just give it some time. But we create that email drip campaign to coincide with the lead magnet so that we're engaging people who are interested in our product or our service. Finally, we tie all that together with our automation. So these are the things that make all this stuff work even while you're sleeping at night. And I've had people book calls with me or download lead magnets when I'm not even around my computer. It's just happening automatically. And that's the strategy that we want to build. That's the funnel that we want to build so that this marketing engine is beginning to just churn without us having to constantly feel like we have to be posting 1,000 times a day for anyone to be interested in anything that we have to sell. Now, a lot of times these 3 things are closely tied to your website, and that's why this is a conversion-driven website and not just a brochure or a beautiful pamphlet of a website. We want these things to be operating at all times and continuing to build our business. Now, sales scripts, we talked about that a little bit, and that is sharing how we can serve. Now, we're not trying to talk anyone into anything ever. We're not trying to get them to buy something that they don't want. That is like sleazy sales. The sales script is there so that we talk consistently about what our mission and our vision is. We talk consistently about our story. We talk consistently about our irresistible offer. We talk consistently about this whole process that we're building, and we can share with them exactly what it is that we have to give them. Now, if the timing is right and they have a need that we can meet, then it's a perfect match. And at that point, we don't really even actually feel like we're reciting a sales script or even selling anything. We're just offering a solution to a problem. And if they have that problem, it's a great day for both of us. The last piece of this puzzle is collateral. Print and digital collateral. We want to make sure that we're using intelligent pieces of collateral. Now, what I mean by that is now that we built the website and we know our sales funnel and we can kind of customize interactions there, we have our marketing automations built. We've got our lead magnet, our email drip campaigns. We can create collateral with QR codes or calls to action that drive people right through that sales funnel. It's all built intentionally to drive traffic the way that we want to drive it. Now, many times people will have business cards or they'll have flyers, but it's like a one-off effort. It has almost nothing to do with their website, which has nothing to do with their sales funnel. It's just like, I don't know, we went to an expo, we needed a flyer. Or we went to an expo, we needed a booth. I don't know. But you can create a QR code or some kind of call to action that drives people directly through the funnel. And that's what we want to do with our print and digital collateral. And that leads us into digital marketing, which is one of the expressions of the digital collateral. So that's where we come up with our social media and our ads strategy. So by this point, we're not wondering like what trend should we chase. We're not wondering like what should we be saying and how should we be talking about our product. All of that stuff is abundantly clear. We're not wondering if somebody were to take a next step from a post, what do they do? Where do they go? How did they get there? And will they find my product? Will they find my service? I'm just not even sure. And we know exactly how we're directing them through this pipeline. It's all fully built and cinched together. And we're sure that if somebody wants to engage, we know what that experience is for them. And we know that they're going to end up eventually in this bucket with us. And then we just execute. We run the pipeline. And that's where these awesome gold coins come through and end up in this beautiful metal bucket. Gold is actually worth a lot of money right now. So if you're actually making your transactions in gold, you're doing pretty good. When was the last time that you revisited your business plan? Do you remember your mission statement or your vision statement? Does that thing clearly connect with your branding and your offers? Are those things reflected on your website and you have an intentional strategy for how you're directing traffic? Are your internal processes buttoned up so that when you have your lead magnet, your email drip campaign, your automations all popping off, you got your sales scripts going and your collateral out there, your marketing online, and you execute, there's that throughput. Even if you had in 20% increase, 30% increase in volume of sales, you would be able to handle it because your internal processes are solid. Are you giving away value and sharing something to earn trust? Do you have that tied to a drip campaign to engage people who are engaged with us? Do you have these things automatically happening so you don't have like a contact form that goes into your email and just waits for you to do something about it when you have a trillion other things you're supposed to be doing? Do you have a sales script that's really clear so that you can share how you serve consistently and so that the people who work with you can do the same thing? Do you have functional collateral that's actually walking people through this pipeline and sending them down these pipes, or is it just kind of a one-off random thing that doesn't really connect to anything? And your digital marketing, are you just chasing trends, or do you have a clear strategy? These are all the things that you want to focus on one by one and walk through this process. If you take the time to go through each one of these steps and you're intentional about how you build your pipeline, you will see your business grow. You will see your marketing efforts actually land and take root. You might just start believing in marketing again. Without going through a process like this, you'll often feel like you're just trying stuff. You're just throwing stuff against the wall. You're just experimenting and trying to see what sticks. But you'll feel like you're kind of like wandering in the dark. And if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if that's you today, there are some free resources on our website that you can grab and you can put this stuff to use right now. But if you're like, listen, I got 1,000 things to do, this is the last thing that I have time for, but I know that it's something that I need to do. That's why we exist. That's what we do. We would love to help you build your holistic marketing pipeline in full and then run these plays. I promise you that if you take the time to focus on this, you're going to feel so much better about the strategy that you're using to grow your business. And you're going to actually see on the other side how it's making a difference in your business reaching that next level that you've been shooting for. If this content is interesting to you, follow the channel because we're going to be talking about this stuff all the time. I got all kinds of free resources, tips, guides, strategies, things that we've learned over the years that we're going to be sharing here, as well as just kind of curating a community of people who are interested in the same thing that we are. And we're tired of marketing either being uber duper expensive and inaccessible to us, or just super duper confusing and like enigmatic and we can't figure it out. We're gonna get down to the bottom of some of this stuff without all of the like, in 6 days, you'll see your business grow by 50%, because that stuff isn't real. This is real conversations about marketing, strategy, tactics, and business development that you can actually use in your everyday. So subscribe to the channel and we'll see you on the next one.